Listen, I get folks want to go back to normal life. They want to go to games, right? I want to go. I want to go to games. But when you look at crowds like that, you approve of that, or is that just not smart?
No, I don't think it's smart. I think when you're dealing particularly outdoors is always better than indoors. But even when you have such a congregate setting of people close together, first you should be vaccinated. And when you do have congregate settings, particularly indoors, you should be wearing a mask.
It's not smart. That was Dr. Fauci. Unable to keep quiet while Americans enjoyed the long weekend watching some college football. He wasn't the only one who couldn't stand watching the rest of the country actually have some fun. Blue check marks and media outlets couldn't stop themselves from expressing their horror. Here's what a tweet written by CNN political analyst Joe Lockhart said. Dozens of college football games on TV yesterday with hundreds of thousands of fans in the stadium. Not one word about COVID, risk vaccines, or masks. It's the latest example of how we don't take COVID seriously and the sports media turning a blind eye for profit. Right. Rogan O'Hanley, lawyer and conservative commentator, and the man behind the great DC Drano account on Instagram, joins us to address the lunacy here. Rogan, good to see you, man.
Good to see you too, Buck.
I'm wondering if you're a lawyer as well as a pundit and memester extraordinaire. I'm wondering if you can try to help me understand here what the rules are. So, U.S. Open tennis, because a lot of blue check libs go and like that. That's cool, right? That you can be in close quarters, outside, inside, whatever, doesn't matter. No mask, who cares? But college football, for some reason, triggers the libs. Why is it, Rogan?
Well, let's not forget Obama's giant birthday party in Martha's Vineyard, where everybody was partying without masks. Let's not forget the BLM and Antifa riots all last summer, where not an ounce of COVID risk was discerned by this media. They simply do not want people having fun, living free lives. They want to keep people in fear because they have realized over the last year and a half that when people are in fear, they're easier to control. So the American people, especially young people who are either not at very high risk of mortality from COVID, which is pretty much everyone under the age of 40 without comorbidities, and also people that have been, frankly, vaccinated or have recovered from COVID and have immunity. They're done living life in fear. We didn't do this for the flu. Why would we continue to lock ourselves indoors for something with a very similar mortality rate? Most of America is over it.
Also, why is college football something that the libs hate so much? I mean, do you think it has anything to do with the chance of, let's say it's Fauci, Joe Biden, they're screaming, but it's actually a different F word that has been showing up in front of Joe Biden's name in chants at college football games all over the country? You think that factors in here? And also, have you ever seen anything like that before? It's pretty remarkable.
It's incredible. It gave me chills watching these viral clips of hundreds of thousands of students chanting F Joe Biden, which, for TV we can say is fire Joe Biden. And this is, allegedly the most popular president ever, most votes ever, got more black votes than Obama. How dare anybody question that? And yet we have only 7 months into his term, stadiums across the country filled with young people who typically lean Democrat chanting F Joe Biden. I tend to think this is just the beginning. This is kind of classic rebellious behavior. Young people versus the authoritarian elders. They're doing it again. Love to see it happening.
And let's dive into this a little bit more, Rogan. The ongoing crisis in Afghanistan as a result of the Biden administration's botched withdrawal, as well as Biden's callous attitude toward the families of the 13 service members who lost their lives. Remember the checking the watch issue? After those 13 service members died in that blast outside the Kabul airport, there's been a big tanking of Biden's approval rating as a result of this. I mean, 2020 Biden voters found, this is latest polls that we could pull here, 20% of likely voters said they regretted their choice of likely voters, Biden voters, compared to 76% who did not. Among Democrats, the number was 21% compared to 29% of Republicans who crossed the aisle to vote for Biden and regretted. Voters' remorse, it seems here, Mr. Rogan.
100%. I mean, it's something that a lot of us are just kind of screaming on the inside, we told you so. This was obvious to anyone paying attention that this guy could barely put on his own shoes in the morning without getting help from somebody, never mind commanding our nuclear arsenal and all our military forces. And I think, not only the 13 courageous troops that perished in this debacle of an Afghanistan withdrawal, but not to mention the dozens that are injured and will be affected by this for the rest of their lives. People saw the faces of these soldiers. They were young. A lot of them, frankly, signed up when President Trump was in power, and then now they were, sent to their deaths for what? To just get out of there quicker. I mean, we basically equipped one of the biggest armies in the world with how much equipment we left over there. The American people aren't dumb. They know this could not have been handled worse, and these polls are reflecting it. Frankly, I think those numbers are even higher than what's being shown.